today, Snow. It's all about you. Good morning, everybody. Grabbing my coffee. Good morning, Charles. Got a beautiful sight out in the greenhouse, or out in the center that I want to show you. Here's Snow, searching for somebody to play. This is a behavior we taught her, to pick up a toy and go search for a person. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you. Do you want this? You want this? Yeah? Yeah. So yesterday, Snow turned 8 months old. So I thought, why not do a live stream, Coffee with the Critters, and show a little bit of what we do with her. There she is, just searching for me, huh? We've learned to not say looking for me, because she can't see and can't hear. What do you think, Rock? Yeah! Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Yeah, 8 months old. She's 8 months old. Can you believe that? We've had her since, I believe, November. So she's sitting at my feet. That's right, Rocky. But I want to go out in the center and show you a beautiful sight real quick before we get started. But before we go any further, hey Carrie, hey Adrian, welcome everybody. What are you? That's Snow. She's my cameraman. So if the tripod bumps, it's because of her. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Bobby. Everybody, welcome to another peekaboo. Welcome to another. Hey, Kristen. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Critters. My name's Lara Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We are an international educational center where we teach people through our online live streaming groups about working with animals using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis. Yay! Hey, Bruce, good to see you. Hello from Scotland, or hello from the United States to Scotland. That's right, Rocky. But before we get started, let me take you out in the center and show you a beautiful sight that I never take for granted. And I bet you most of you can guess what it is because it's a very sunny day out today. Let me turn this around and let's head out there. And thank you everybody for sharing this live stream. Today it's going to be on Snow, our deaf and blind puppy, some of the behaviors we work with, how we train. Yes, you got it, Sharon. Look at that. Morning glory. What do you think? So this is Willy. Are you coming down here? And this is Cello. This is Willy, the education turkey vulture, here for training from Nature's Nursery, a wildlife rehabilitation center here in Northwest Ohio, White House, Ohio to be exact. So is that not beautiful? If she was turned around the other way, she'd get a full wingspan. Her wingspan is about 5 feet. She is an amazing creature. Yeah, so she's sunning her front right now. What do you think? So this is Cello, our education roller pigeon. And Cello's in training now and we're showing in a private group, doing some of the work, following B.F. Skinner. Nice job. I got nada for you, sweetie. Nada. So, there you go. Yeah, so I just wanted to come out and show Willy real quick because it's such a beautiful sight. And Willy turns sweet 16. I thought she was 20. My bad. She turned sweet 16 in July. So we're gonna have to have something for her. Anyways, let's get back to, hello. Let's get back to Snow. Why don't you go back up there? Good job. I still have nothing for you. Let's get back to Snow and what this episode of Coffee with the Critters is all about. I think she's right on the other side. Nope. Oh, so this is Snow, our deaf and blind puppy. And I'm going to tell you about her story today, some of her training that we do with her, how we do it, why we do it, her future. And so there she's given the behavior that we have taught her to do. Go pick up a toy and search out a person because we were seeing some undesired behaviors with her that I wanted to change. In order to change a behavior, you must replace it with another. So you are looking at the replacement behavior. Grabbing a toy and finding a person. Because that interaction with her is one of her biggest reinforcers. Positive reinforcers. Let me get this set up. Grab my coffee. Tell a little story about her. Watch her in the background. So this is Snow, full of energy. I'll tell you how we, just looking at some feathers on the floor and trying to figure out how they got there and why they're like they are. So, good morning, Pat. Good morning, everybody. Snow, I've had her since November. And Suki, does she have an issue knowing day from night since she can't see? No, she cannot. She does not. She has her right eye in her right socket. There is no eye. In her left. There she is. She has a partially formed eye, and you can see the pupil. I've watched it a lot. The eye is very flat, and it goes back and forth. I've inspired you to volunteer with a blind dog rescue. That is fabulous. I love that. There's Kronos, pink, African pied crow here for training, who will be going back to the zoo very shortly. But Snow, it was in November. I was going to a fundraiser for Nature's Nursery, and I put out on my personal Facebook page that I was, that I was looking to train a deaf dog. Another deaf dog. And my good friend, that's right, Rocky, that's very pretty. My good friend Pam Hennessy from Maryland saw that I was looking to train a deaf dog for somebody. I was looking to, that's right, to bring it in temporarily, train it, and send it back out to either the shelter or to the permanent, to the home. That's right, Rock, that's very pretty. Anyways, Pam Hennessy saw my post on Facebook, peekaboo, fortunately or unfortunately, and put me in touch with Lena out of Asheboro, North Carolina, who I have never met. Good morning, Rhonda. So I let go, and she's going to search for me to interact with her again. So I got in touch with Lena, and Pam did something very deceptive and posted a picture of Snow on my Facebook page. And so I saw this little white ball of fur that I could tell from the photo she clearly could not see. And I told my husband, I said, there's a deaf and blind puppy in North Carolina that's looking for a home. And he said to me, well, let's go get it. And I was like, no, it's not, don't tell me that. So I got in touch with Lena. We worked out some details. I asked if she could drive Snow to me, and I would pay her to drive Snow to me because it was hard for me to leave the center with all the animals. That's very funny, and I think Snow was already 8 or 10 weeks old at the time. So I just blew on her, and those are one of the beginning stages of recall we did with her. Everybody's chiming in today. So Lena couldn't leave because she runs a rescue out of her home. So I couldn't get to Snow fast enough because she was already, from the moment of birth and probably before then, she was already learning. So she was developing a history of reinforcement of things maybe that were desirable or undesirable. Asking her to sit, bridge, deliver reinforcement. So hopefully I got that. Hopefully you could see that. So we ended up, I told my husband, I said, I can't get to this puppy fast enough because I want to train her immediately. Come here. So we made a road trip, and I know several of you guys followed our road trip down to Asheboro, North Carolina. We made it in a weekend. We picked her up, and with me, if I see an animal that I can empower the life of, and I would fly to Australia to get, if I wanted. When I see an animal I can help, distance is no objective for me. So we took off, drove to Asheboro, North Carolina, met Lena the next morning, met Snow, took her on the road, drove to Charleston, West Virginia, spent the night in a hotel with her, and she was just, I started training her in the car while I was driving, and that first night in the hotel, I started her foraging for her food. I'll show you some of the training we've done with her. Thank you guys for sharing this live stream, I appreciate it. So, I didn't know if I was going to keep Snow. I had every intention of starting to train her and then finding her a home. Lena begged that I not find her a home, that she be a permanent resident here at the Animal Behavior Center. And didn't take. So yes, deaf dogs bark, deaf and blind dogs bark. So she feels the wind from Kronos' cage. Kronos is up playing with the foraging tool, so she's feeling the wind from his wings. So I just asked her to turn around and come to me. She's searching for me. Over here. I didn't move. Good. So I'll show you some of the work we did with her. Somebody asked a question, Leah, does she need a lot of physical exercise? Yes, a lot. She has been a huge challenge for us. She has been a huge challenge for me. So I blew on her. Those were our beginning stages of recall, because if you just walk up and touch a deaf dog, and especially a deaf and blind dog, touch them and they can't tell you're coming, you can startle them. So we did this with Levi, our deaf bulldog, but our beginning stages of recall training is this. So working with a deaf and blind dog, I decided to keep Snow here as a permanent resident and educator for the public for several reasons. So a tap on her chest is a bridge or a marker telling her that's the behavior I'm looking for that's earning you this. And bridging is so extremely important. We just talked about this in one of our projects this week. So the bridge, right here, that is her bridge. And you'll see her look for the treat as soon as I bridge. And a lot of times I'll throw treats on the floor for her. This is what I did for her the first night in the hotel room. She was on a kibble diet when I first got her. So I started working, what do you think, Rico? I started working immediately with this. This is what I did, was I would throw kibble, and that's how she would eat. Sorry. Rico, come here. It's Willy. It's Willy. Yeah, that's the raptor. Come here. Good job. Nice job. Yeah. Sorry. Rico is negatively reinforcing the behavior of me. Here. What do you think? What do you think? Go get that. She saw Willy through the center, or he did, and he's reacting to that. Even though Willy's been here for quite a while. Our snow mug. Yes, there's only a couple of these left for sale on our website. Woo! Okay, now that explosion's over, hopefully. What do you think, Rico? Did you get it? Good job. So anyways, I started training her immediately, and I had her on a leash and was walking her outside. I what do you think? I have since taken her off the leash, and yeah, that's the peanut gallery in the background. So there's, what do you think, Rock? So when we first brought her in, it was a huge challenge. That's right, Rocky. I had one main concern, well, three main concerns when I first brought her here, and that was Quincy, Quincy, and Quincy. Quincy is our female intact Rottweiler, and so I paid a lot of attention. Peekaboo! There she goes, barking at Cronus. So what you just saw me do was I do a run down her back. That means turn around and come the other direction. So with Snow, I have to work a lot with, since the two senses of hearing and seeing are gone, we have to be creative in working with, we work with touch, and I don't use a lot of oils or different scents with her because she is so in tune with her sense of smell, I don't have to. I know she's getting big. 8 months. Look at that butt. Look at that cute little butt. So working with a dog that's deaf and blind causes, a lot of people would think that it's impossible. It's not. It's not. The challenge of it is you have to think differently. And so we use a lot of touch and sense of smell with her. She can feel us, like we're teaching her to heel right now. So we're having her target her left side of her body to my right leg while we're walking. I'm in the process of taking her to parks. We just had the Canvas and Cocktail fundraiser for Deaf Dogs Rocks last week, and I wasn't really sure how she was going to do with a bunch of different people here in the center. She did fabulous. She did fabulous. She seemed to really enjoy the interaction. She seemed to really enjoy the interaction. So that was extra confirmation for me. That was extra confirmation for me that she is a great candidate to go on the road with me. So I have every intention of taking Snow on the road with me, starting to travel with me as I give workshops and lecture around the United States, probably later this year and into 2018, probably really starting in 2018. So I had to introduce her to the two dogs that were here, Levi and Quincy, and I did that individually. Hey, Ashley, glad you joined. I did that individually, and it is a constant work in progress. Because she's 8 months old, she is intact as well. She may be coming into heat soon, and I'm just watching some body language between her and the other dogs, and it's very interesting. So I want to show you some of the beginning stages of recall we did. She's searching for the treats on the ground now, so I'm probably not going to get her attention. I had to blow on her, and what was happening is people were reaching for her and it was scaring her, and she would cower. We have a lot of different animals here. Milo, the mini pig, does not care for her whatsoever, but we've been working on that in the pig project and showing how we are shaping this. So there is a touch cue that I give to her. If she comes over here, I'll show it again, but I don't necessarily want to do it. What it is I put my hands around her shoulders and I don't squeeze hard, I just give her a firm grip. And what that means is stay where you are, caution, be careful. So when she does that, I reinforce that, and I reinforce Milo for keeping his distance. And it's working well. But some of the volunteers here are not comfortable with that. So what we're doing is we're teaching Milo to station in a crate while we bring Snow out. But keeping a prey animal in a crate while something it may not be comfortable with is in close proximity can blow up in your face really fast. So we have to, good morning, Linda, we have to make sure a lunge never happens. So I'm going to take advantage of her interacting with her toy and talk about some of the challenges we had with Snow. As Snow started to get a little older, a couple months older, we saw a lot of spinning and running really fast. Those of you that are in the Snow project know exactly what my concerns were with that. And I needed to get that to change, and I needed to find out what the reinforcer was behind it. I know some of the reinforcers behind it now are either she's bored or I see her spin when she's searching for something that she cannot get to. We use a lot of, she picks up on a lot of vibrations, like when the birds here start screaming, you'll see her start to spin. So Candace, you keep saying you can't hear anything. Try logging out of the live stream and coming back in. Or yay, you can hear. Good. Well, anyways. So she works on a lot of, she can tell something I've noticed recently, which is so super cool. Cockatoo is, if somebody is on our property, she can smell it. and she'll start barking and the hair on her back will raise. So I do reinforce that by going over her and touching her to let her know that your line of communication, I'm picking it up. As you guys have seen on my personal Facebook page, she has recently learned to climb the whole flight of stairs in the house, and she is finding the upstairs so engaging because it's new. This is, we know she's part Australian Shepherd. We think she may have some Border Collie in her. A lot of people have told me that, and I've always said one dog I will never have is a Border Collie. You see how that goes. I also said I'd never have another male umbrella cockatoo at the center. I failed at that as well. My Facebook page name is Sarah. It's Lara, L-A-R-A. Last name Joseph, J-O-S-E-P-H. You'll see my picture is a picture with Rico, my umbrella cockatoo, on my arm. Anyways, so she's recently just gone up the stairs. She's not my best teacher, but she is one of my best teachers. The animals that are the biggest challenges for me, you're welcome, are my best teachers. That would be Willy, the turkey vulture. That would be Snow. Rocky, my male umbrella cockatoo, has been an awesome teacher for me. Working with a deaf and blind dog, would I call it challenging? What? So that's why I keep turning and talking to Rocky, because I'm reinforcing that behavior I want to see increase. That's right, Rocky. What you thinking? So my tone of voice is a reinforcer with him. My eye contact is a reinforcer. Thank you for helping Sweet Baby from Randolph County Humane Society. You're welcome. Why does Randolph County Humane Society sound very familiar? Maybe that's where Lena works out of. I use a lot of touch with my fully abled Aussie. He has a history of reactivity, and I've found that touch helps him disengage it better. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. So yeah, so what I'm learning now, as of this morning, Snow, as of last week, loves new people, new challenges. That's right, Rocky. So I need to bump up her level of complexity. And I always tell people, the more intelligent, the animal's as intelligent as it needs to be, and is a product of its environment. So the more intelligent the animal, the harder it is to keep. Yes, that is why this place is full of cockatoos, a deaf and blind puppy, a turkey vulture. None of those are necessarily easy to work with. Ooh, relish the silence. I like it. Anyways, so she has recently been coming up the stairs. We started with teaching her a short flight of stairs, and she does not come down the stairs yet. We are working on that right now in the Snow Project. We are shaping that. A lot of rear end awareness exercises will really help with that. And since she's been up the stairs, I'm trying to change things on her a lot. So, hey Therese, last night was the first night she actually slept upstairs with us. And that does not mean I'm gonna keep her up there with me. I'm going to keep changing that, because I need, if I'm going to take her on the road with me, I need to keep her used to change and comfortable with change, changing environments. So one of the next things on my immediate list to do is to take her on the road and take her to a hotel. I don't care if that's just here in Toledo, but I want her getting used to that changing environment. Good morning, Jenny from Las Vegas. So that's one of the next things I'm going to do. And I will show you some of her cues and how we trained her. Let me get her back over here. blow on her. Get her to come look for me. Now she's searching for information. So she just gave me the behavior I want. So we had to create a bridge with her. Good morning, Liz. And a bridge is a sound or signal that tells the animal that's the particular behavior that's earning you the reinforcer. So she's a distance away from me. And this is how we greet her. We rub her under her belly, and she is the one that lets us know that. So most dogs don't like to be touched or patted on the top of the head, so it's one thing we never do. This is great because this was Snow telling me what she wants and how she wants me to greet her. So a lot of times if I rub up here underneath her chest, she will move herself into position to where my hand is underneath her belly. I need to pay close attention to that. And that is why last week at Coffee with the Critters, or Cocktails and Canvas, the fundraiser for deaf dogs, we told people when they walk in, do not touch her head, because I'm doing some head work with her. Because she's clearly told me that touching her face or head is an aversive. So I'm shaping that because I've got to get that leash on. And I'm starting to do some work with her to get her ready for a leash. When I first brought her here, major complications that I never really told the public. I was trying to get Kronos, the African pied crow, here for several months. Once I agreed to go take on Snow, the zoo called and said the African pied crow was ready, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, I can't take both of these on at the same time. I also had a family member get very sick that I was helping taking care of, so there I had Snow, the crow, and a very sick family member, all happening at the same time. That is why I did not get to the leash work as fast as I should have, and I really regret doing that because now I have a lot of counter conditioning to do. That's why I tell people, the best way to interact with a behavior issue is observe it when it's first starting to happen and change it, redirect it immediately. Because if you don't, we just talked about this in a live stream yesterday in our membership program, if you do not, now you've got a lot of work cut out for you because that animal is developing a history of reinforcement, of learning an undesired behavior, and once the animal learns it, they've learned it. They've learned that it brings a reinforcer for them, something of value to them, and once they learn it, if you then start trying to change it, you can change it, but if you stop delivering the reinforcer for the alternate behavior, the animal is likely to regress, to go back to the behavior that once worked for it. That's why I could not get to Snow fast enough. One of the first things we did was crate train her. I crate trained her in the hotel room because that's someplace she needed to be when she was young. She no longer has a crate, but I still crate train her. Because if I go on the road at the hotel, guess who's probably going to have to spend some time in a crate? When we're on the road, guess who's going to have to spend some time in the crate? She's such a dork. So she's searching for a toy. Hopefully she'll bring it to me. If not, I had a lot of people on my Facebook page when... You're such a dork. I had a lot of people tell me, why would you not put her down? Why would I? Just because she's deaf and blind? Why would I? I don't know what she considers happy, but I think she's a pretty enriched puppy. And she loves to be trained. Loves to be trained. She loves that engagement. So she'll start spinning and running if you do not engage with her. The interaction is one of her biggest reinforcers. She loves the challenges. She seems to really enjoy, look at that cute puppy butt. She seems to really enjoy the interaction. I am now teaching her to sit by my side for long periods of time, to go to new areas with me, because she's going on the road with me. And when I give presentations, I don't care if it's to zoos, to parent groups, wildlife organizations, she's going with me because she is a great teacher of applied behavior analysis, causing me to be creative and identify punishers, aversives, reinforcers, and put them to use in communicating with her. Were there any issues with house training, like how to reinforce without scaring her after she went outside? There was a lot. The potty training was such a learning experience for me. And it was a lot of chaining. It was a lot of shaping individual behaviors and then chaining them all together, because she could not walk down the stairs, so I had to pick her up, take her down the stairs. I'd reinforce when she peed. Then I had to shape the behavior of her following me, walking back up the stairs, finding the door, going inside, and understanding the contingency of what was bringing the reinforcer. That was a series of individual behaviors that were all shaped and then chained together. What chaining is reinforcing a series of 2 or more behaviors, which we are getting ready to talk about, I believe, in the Deaf Dog Project. So if you guys are interested in learning about the Snow Project, is all about her. You can find that on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. The Snow Project is not necessarily about training a deaf and blind puppy. It's using applied behavior analysis to communicate and train her. Somebody had a question. Language, put her down. You're such a positive light in the world. Thanks, Pat. Thank you. So, I mean, I intentionally went and got her for numerous reasons, because I thought she could be a great educator, and I also wanted to show quality of life that animals can have. Thanks for sharing, Liz. What, Rocky? I wanted to show quality of life that a deaf and blind animal could still have. So I'm watching how she's interacting with this toy. You can see how if I let this toy go and hit her in the face, it can easily become an aversive. So I do let it tap her chin, because I want her to search and grab it. So she's only 8 months old. Let me show you some things she can do. Let me let her settle down a little bit. Peek-a-wow! Okay, so let me see if I can get her into position. Hey, that's good. That's good. So this means a rub under her chin, means come this way. Good. I'm talking out loud so you guys can see where my bridge is, because I tap her chest. I'm asking her to turn around, follow me. Good. Okay, I'm going to call her closer to the camera. Right here. Good. I'm going to ask 2 taps on the butt. Sit. Good. This is something new we're training her to go down. Good. So before she can get up, bridge. Can you see this? Bridge. So now I'm training duration. Bridge. Now I'm going to ask her to come up by turn around, follow me. Good. So now I'm just going to stop talking so you can see. So you can experience it from her world. So she's searching for something on the floor, so I'm not going to sit here and keep asking behavior because I'll teach latency. We know what I'm training. Getting it ready for a nail trim. What I'm doing now, throwing treats on her back, that lets her know, look on the ground. Treats are now being delivered on the floor. And I do that because I try not to give an end of training signal, because a lot of times the animals that I train, studies show that if you're actually using positive reinforcement training, it is the animal's preferred form of enrichment. So why would they want it to stop? A lot of the animals I train, when you're working with an unsocial animal, they can be a little more challenging and dangerous. So you definitely do not want to tell them your training session is over. It can result in an animal charging the cage. So what I do instead is just redirect behavior. I do it with all the birds here. I do it with the dogs. I do it with Milo, our mini pig. I just redirect behavior. When I take a bird back in a cage, I don't hold their feet to keep them on my hand. I reinforce them staying on my hand, and then I redirect that behavior with directing them to a foraging toy. Does she know how to stay? Yes, she's been trained to stay. We need to teach her to train for longer durations. So did that, I mean, I love training without talking, because your bridges, so many times, like I said, a bridge is a sound or a signal. So many times people reach for the treat pouch, and that is a signal telling the animal, oh, I already did the desired behavior, and you'll see them stop working. I'm gonna take you out in the center and show you some of the work we do with her out in the center. But see if we had another question. Is it ever too late to train an animal? Never, Michelle. It's never too late to train an animal. That animal is thinking, moving, eating, smelling, functioning. It's being trained anyways. So, such as training an elderly animal that hasn't been trained before. Yeah, it's never too late, Michelle. Most of the animals we have here are older, hi, sweetheart, and have lost their homes. What is key there is you're working with a long history of reinforcement for other behaviors. Nicole, I have a hard time keeping my hand out of the treat bag, something I really have to work on. And let's do some of those exercises this week in either some of the projects or the membership programs. I'll show you. There's Snow hitting the tripod. Yeah, she's stealing the show. So what about high prey drive? It is ever too late to redirect and retrain the behavior. No, it's not. It's not. We were just talking about that yesterday. We had a Q&A in level 2, and I talked about some exercises. I'm going to do some live streams with Quincy, focus and control exercises. Quincy loves to chase squirrels, and we live in an area that is surrounded heavily by pine trees, so there's a lot of squirrels. So I talked about the different focus and control exercises I will do with her, teaching her to sit and stay by my side, and then I'm going to slowly add in distractions. So yes, Snow actually got in the shower with me this morning. That was something new I could give her. Let's take her out in the center, and I'll show you. Let me show you how she learns out in the center. Okay, we're gonna go. I'm gonna blow on her. I'm gonna give her the cue to follow me. Okay. So this is something she will stand right in front of the door. This already has a history of reinforcement. I didn't change it when I should have. So reinforce an alternate behavior, come back to me. Tell her to sit. Please don't sit right in front of the door. Come here. Sit. Good. She can tell, she can feel the temperature difference. So the temperature is a reinforcer for her. The temperature is also a cue for her. Nice job, nice job. So I'm reinforcing by petting her. Giving her the cue. Here's your toy. Let's go. Let's go, Munchkin. So she's following me. I definitely want to reinforce that. And I'll reinforce that with play. So I showed in the Snow Project some of the live streams of how we first started teaching her a retrieve. So I'll drop the toy, have her search for me in longer and longer distances. Nice. Bridge, deliver a reinforcer, which is the actual play and interaction. I'm gonna drop. She's searching me for longer distance. Bridge, pick up the toy, reinforce. Does this make sense? So a lot of times if people just saw this, they would just see playing. That animal is learning. Nice. So she's searching for information. Give it to her. So many times animals are searching for information and we don't recognize it. So increasing the distance for her to search for me. Wrong way, Missy. Nice. So I really would like her to bring it to me versus me searching. So I'm gonna call her back to me. So I'm identifying that this needs some work. I am currently working with her. She is trained for a voluntary nail trim, but it's been a while and I need to get that started again. I also I'm working on some work with her neck so we can get that the leash on her. I'll start working on getting her used to tension on a leash, being guided on a leash, heeling to by targeting my right knee. You love watching her. She's pretty cool to watch. Nice. So for those, we can probably take these bumpers off, these metal poles now. I'm not going to because she still cannot, I mean, she knows in the proximity, nice, where they are. But once in a while, she will bang into them. We have to be very careful out here to not move objects, like tables and stuff, because she will crack right into them. So I've increased the distance. Nice. She loves this. She could do this all day. She loves water. So I am in the search for some water toys with her. Keep coming. I'm over here. Good. I will use a target stick with her, a longer stick, to work with teaching her to heel as well. So pay attention. We do give, no, man, she almost came to, nice. I do post a lot on my personal Facebook page, Lara Joseph, of her progresses. If you want to learn more, you can join the Snow Project. You can find that at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. You can message me here or send me an email. So just when working with animals that have lost some of their senses, some people think it's hard. It's hard because you have to think outside the box. You have to think of a different way of communicating with the animal. With your training, if that animal can see, hear, smell, or feel you, you are training whether you realize it or not. We all are. The key question is, what are we training? So yeah, so happy 8-month birthday to Snow. I wanted to dedicate this live stream to her. She is learning daily, a lot daily. She is a very intuitive, curious animal. And if I have curiosity, good. If I have curiosity with an animal, I've got a major reinforcer. I just need to make sure I never punish that curiosity, or I've just lost a very valuable tool. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it because I'm here by myself today. I have nobody else helping me, so I take advantage. Nice. I take advantage of that time to really interact and spend with my animals. So one more thing before I leave. One thing that's hard for other animals that aren't missing any of their senses with Snow is I see they find it challenging and confusing as why Snow cannot read their body language. That is a major missing tool. So the dogs will give posturing, and I think Levi struggles with that. He does not understand why she's not paying attention to his body language because she can't see it. But what I can do is give her cues to let her know what he's telling her. All right, so she's becoming like my right arm. I think her and I make a great team. Boom. And we're gonna go on the road with it. We will show you. Thank you, Stephanie. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. You can find more about us at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. All right, everybody, have a great Sunday. In a couple of weeks, I will be in Denver, so I will try to do a coffee with the critters from Denver. but not sure. So, boop, boop. There you go. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for attending another episode, and thanks for your shares. Thanks for your support. See you guys. If you have anybody, you know anybody with challenges with animals, please direct them to this live stream. Take care. Hey, Sean, didn't see you in here. Have a great weekend. Say bye, Snow.